UFC 319 just happened this past weekend, and I wanted to come out and publicly apologize to DDP for not filming and posting this video up here earlier in his training camp. If I would have done it, he would have probably known 3 basic ways of countering Chimaev's wrestling. For people out there that don't know me, my name is Achilles. I'm a freestyle wrestling coach, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and I've been on the wrestling mat for over 30 years now. One of the moves that I've mentioned about, or I talk about in this video up here, it's called the switch. If you're not familiar with the switch, it's a very basic counter move that you learn very early in your wrestling journey. We teach it to kids as young as 4. It's a very effective move that can be used while you're up on your feet and you get attacked with a single leg and their head is on the outside. It can be used when you're down on the floor and you have someone in front of you. In Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, they call it the butterfly guard. And it can be used very effectively when you have someone on your back. And in wrestling, that's called the referee's position, or hyper-tear. In MMA, it's a back take. The reason why I'm mentioning this move is because all throughout this fight, several times, he did present it to DDP, but he never initiated a counter from there when Chimaev was on his back. And I don't know the reason why. I don't know if he didn't feel comfortable initiating a counter there. I don't know if he doesn't even know this counter. I don't know why he didn't do it. He was there. Even DC himself said, I think in round number 4 or 5, that he needs to grab 2 hands on one wrist and start building up from there.
Now he's attacking the lock a little bit.
He never did. So, as I said, I don't know the reason why he didn't do it. I don't know if he just got so overwhelmed by Chimaev's pressure and grappling, and he just broke his soul. In all fairness, the man got dominated for 22 minutes on the ground. It was painful to watch. But with that being said, myself as a wrestling coach and fellow wrestler myself who's been on the wrestling mats for 30 years, I'm very happy to see another champion who has a background in wrestling. It proves once again how effective wrestling it is in MMA and how effective it is as a form of self-defense. So I'm happy to see him become the champion. It was painful to watch DDP being beaten up and dominated like that, considering how great of a champion he is. But as I said, once again, I'm happy to see wrestling again showing and proving everyone out there how effective it is. I had high hopes myself for DDP going into this fight, because all throughout the kind of build-up towards the fight on Saturday night, he was saying how well prepared he is in the wrestling department, how he's going to go in and he's going to fight, fire with fire. He's going to wrestle Chimaev. Even his coach was so confident that they're going to go out there and they're going to wrestle him and they're going to beat him at his own game. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to see any of that. I don't know what wrestling they prepared in their, practice room. I don't know who he had as a, wrestling coach, or the team of wrestlers that he had around. But yes, Chimaev's wrestling is very good. Yes, he's very powerful and dominant, but there are openings in his game that could be very well be utilized. And then we've seen that with Usman. Usman is one of the guys that actually went in and showed that it can be done. And this is why I would like people to give him a bit more credit how well he done against Chimaev. He was able to pretty much stuff some of his grappling. He was able to come back up. He was building up to his feet. And if it was a 5 rounds fight, we could have probably seen a different outcome. I don't know. In my opinion, I would like to see someone like him going again against Chimaev and going for 5 rounds. Who knows? The outcome may be different. Now, as I said, I'm happy for Chimaev because he's a fellow wrestler, but like every coach, or I should say every wrestling coach out there, we would like to figure out or solve Chimaev's wrestling puzzle. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't watched the video that I just mentioned about, just go and watch it. There are 3 basic counter moves that yourself can make part of your, wrestling game. And if you never tried wrestling, make sure you go and find a club out there, go and train wrestling. It's fun, it's great, it's easy, and I promise you're not going to be disappointed. And who knows, you may need to use it one day as a form of self-defense. So let me know in the comments below what you think about that video and this video, and I'll see you all soon.